Hello, welcome to a Timeless Collective message. I am reading this on the night of August 8th, and I'm going to upload it soon hereafter. So this does have to do with guidance around the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. This is a timeless collective message. Please take only what resonates for you. I'm going to take a few minutes to get cards out and begin the reading. Please feel free to watch this at a higher playback speed and feel free to skip any parts here at the beginning where I'm getting the cards out and reading the message. All right. This might be a bit of a love reading, but not entirely is what I'm getting. And I say that because we have passion here at the top of the Prism Oracle and the Two of Cups here at the center. And this Two of Cups was at the bottom of a reading that was a love reading. I believe it was the most recent reading posted before this one. And I was watching a bit of it back. I skipped over this reoccurring message of the Two of Cups at this time. If this does resonate for you as a love reading at all, you're in a time of solitude and having to ground into your own personal power is what I'm getting. We've got the Queen of Fire that has been coming up, the Queen of Wands with that message, and the Emperor here on the right side. And then this Strength card with the Hermit right in the middle. This is going to be a message that may resonate in various specific ways. It could be that a relationship has ended. If that doesn't resonate for you, it could be that there's cycles within your relationship that are ending. So we've got here on the left this Hanged Man message that is coming out, and this message of cycles closing out and having to move on and change, transform from what maybe was the norm to you previous now. And it could have been like really recently that changes have occurred, or that you were kind of called into this space of needing to move forward. I'm getting, and move on too, if this resonates as like a end of a relationship. either way, I think what's going on here is I'm reading for two individuals who are stepping into their own personal power, and it is coming by way of endings and having to draw inward into this space of love, but of solitude and strength, which is a card of, this is Major Arcana number 8, of holding back and drawing your power inward. And with the Hermit, it's kind of like this double message of having to do with the self. And yet we're getting the Two of Cups and the Flow card. I'm getting, it's like a clearing up and a clearing out of what is not supportive to love any longer and to partnership any longer. Okay, I trimmed a small part of the video out. Had to take a small break. So if this is resonating for two people, whether the relationship has ended or if you are someone who's actually currently in a partnership, what I'm getting is that this change and this closing out, it happened for a greater sense of stability and a stronger foundation. With the Ace of Earth and the Emperor here, it's accompanied by the Fear card and the Moon card. And it's like you're drawing things to a close in whatever way that resonates for you, because there's something greater that's calling to you. And I'm getting that it has to do with this Emperor energy and this Ace of Pentacles energy. It's like for the sake of a love that can last, you're needing to build things up with yourself first, if that makes sense. So, and it's coming from this space of protection. There's a lot of dark cards coming out, like the color black. So I'm just going to read what it says for that here in the Oracle book. It says, as with all colors, our associations with black are varied and complex. The link between black, death, and the underworld goes back to ancient culture. Many gods and goddesses of the underworld are represented by the color black, including the ancient Egyptian god of the afterlife, Anubis, and Kali, the Hindu goddess of death and time. Kali, okay. Among other things, these associations with death can elicit feelings of fear, but that's just one perspective. Like white, black can be understood either as the absence of all light, no color, or all colors together in harmony when mixing pigments together. For the ancient Egyptians, black also represented fertility. Black is often used in spell work that has to do with protection and can be useful in absorbing negative energy. I don't know if any part of that resonated, but I thought I would read it. I'm getting with this reoccurring color that's coming out. I mean, there's a lot of colors in this deck. We got pretty much all of, well, at least most of, or a good amount of the black colors coming through with this Flow card. And Flow is about, this card specifically is about cleaning out and doing away with things that are holding movement in stagnancy. I'm getting with the Ace of Pentacles and just that overall like message that I read straight from the book. It's like, in order to have something that can last and can grow, you need to clear out things within that are blocking your ability to love and to be receptive of love, to give and provide that. So this could have to do with love in general for you. If it's resonating, like I said, is having to do with a specific partnership, things are closing out within the relationship for a greater possibility of love. And I'm getting at this time with the Moon card, there's a lot that you're not necessarily meant to know the answer to at this time. All right, it's been a number of readings since I saw the Ten of Swords, but what I'm getting here is that there was a really tough ending. This is what we've got at the top of the deck, and then this is at the bottom. Is that the Star card? No. This card. No, it's the Moon card. Okay. Yeah, there was a really tough ending that put you into this Moon energy of like not, it's like landed, a lot has happened and it's landed you into this space. It's almost like, it's a more peaceful space than this Ten of Swords, but you've had to move through this like forced ending, and it's been really tough into this space of indecision and then emotional fulfillment. So I don't know what's connecting like these two energies into this. We've got fear here, but I think it has more to do with just filtering through what's unknown at the time, at this time. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up on what we have here for this fear card all the way to the right. To summon the courage to face your fears. Okay. It's a card that speaks about catalysts for positive change is what's written. And it's like this call to move past what brings you fear and grounds you into courage instead. I'm getting this really grounded energy of like self-preservation and protection coming through with this card. It's like you have gone into a deeply protective space of yourself at this time. And there's a lot of love present here. We've got 2 tens with this like 2 of Swords in the middle. I'm getting 2 from that is it's kind of like a really bittersweet time. There's a lot of complex layers, I think, to the emotions that are present at this time. It's like on one hand, you're dealing with a lot of pain and sadness because of something that's had to come to a close. And on the other hand, you're still in this space of deep union and love. And it could just have to do with yourself. I'm getting that if this is resonating for a specific partnership or person, just this confirmation that's coming through that there is so much love present here, and whoever this is resonating for, if you're thinking of another person, you love them very much, and there is just a lot of love present within this connection. Again, this 2 of Cups does speak to an inner union within yourself. It could also be that you're just really feeling a lot of love and presence within yourself. I'm getting these very with the Strength card in the middle here, and then the Emperor and the Queen of Fire. The Emperor is associated with the first house of Aries, which is a cardinal fire sign. There's a lot of fire energy coming through here, even just with this Mars and Pisces, the 10 of Cups card that's coming through. It's like emotional fulfillment and this like strong fire that's burning. And it could be an inner fire, but I'm getting that this love that's present here, it has a lot to do with your own love for yourself too. Okay, let's just draw through some more messages at this time. I want to connect in to these angel cards, the Hermit with the Queen of Fire and the Ace of Earth. I want to clarify more on these cards. Okay. With two knights here on the left coming out from the same deck, and we've got the Knight of Coins and the Knight of Water. I'm getting the Knight of Cups with this forced ending that's causing a lot of pain. I'm getting that it came from this space, and if you're feminine it could resonate, but you could also be like a masculine, a man, and just resonate with this message in general. It's like you had to believe in yourself. Something happened and you just had to finally put yourself first, and I'm getting that it's coming from these knight energies. I mean, we're doubled up here with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. I'm sensing it's like you were in search of something that was more fulfilling in terms of emotional connection and more mature in terms of emotional fulfillment. And with the Knight of Coins, I'm getting that this forced ending, this pain that you might resonate with at this time, it's because things were moving too slow for you. And I'm saying that because we're like doubled up on Knight energy, and Knight is about movement. The Knight of Cups, and I read the Knights in many ways, but I think given all this like ending energy and love energy that's present with the 2 and 10 of Cups, and then this 2 of Coins, I recognize this as like two hearts meeting one another. You may have gotten impatient, and it could have been just like this. And I talk about the Knight of Cups and the Knights and Pages a lot. I need to figure out more ways to articulate this, but immaturity, like needing to grow and ascend, if you will, is what comes through sometimes with the Knights and the Pages. And with the Knight of Coins, I just see it like in antithesis to this fire energy. The Queen of Fire is someone who is self-assured. Again, you don't have to be a woman to, or be a feminine to resonate with this energy. But it's like you hold such a high level of independence and ability to create that it is very difficult sometimes to practice trust in places where you're being asked to be patient. And I think I'm getting that this really heavy ending energy, and it's like moving you into this space of stillness, of having to shift into a higher or different perspective. I'm getting to it could be that your own impatience, it's broken your own heart. But there's two sides to this coin, in that as this element of queen energy like is, and this card too, it's the second thing that's written here on this angel deck for this card is don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity comes right after. It's a very empowering card of having to remember your own power and your own intention and your own worth. This could resonate for yourself. This could resonate for another person. But I'm getting that it's like there was impatience on both ends if this is resonating for a specific partnership. And I'm going to go ahead and read it like that just because of all the cards that are coming up. And then there's like some really heavy energies with the Ten of Swords and then all these like endings. Because I'm really reading into this Queen of Fire energy. I don't know if that resonates or if I said that very well. But I'm getting this energy of someone who broke their own heart and someone whose heart was continually broken. And it's both those things. And it's like it's driven out of yourself this very self-assured. And it's almost like it was a reminder, like whatever happened, there was, as difficult as it is to say this, there may have been intention within whatever ending or heartbreak is currently happening or happened, because you needed to remember your own self-worth. You needed to remember that you are worthy of holding yourself in a higher but also grounded esteem, right? That like commanding the kinds of love that you know you're worthy of. And it could be like you're recognizing two ways in which again, if this is resonating for a specific relationship, ways in which you're seeing that reflected in the other person, like you as well as the other, you yourself, as well as anyone specific in mind. If this is resonating in that way, you're seeing the ways in which maybe you both have contributed to the heartbreak that's present, and the ways in which you're both leaning into this space of self-worth and knowing your value. And I say that because I've with the cards that have come out, I'm reading into this as a love reading, and it's really difficult for me to polarize the reading entirely from like this perspective versus their, or like your perspective versus their perspective. I think that these things are really cohesive, and especially in partnership and relationships, in love, we reflect one another. It's not really truly ever that like, oh, I was in the right and the other person was wrong. There's ways that we can speak about that concept for sure within any kind of dynamic between two people. But we also allow ourselves to accept the kind of love that we truly believe ourselves worthy of, and that is an accountability that is accountability that we need to take too. I don't know if that makes sense, but overall what I'm saying is that there's a lot of heartbreak here. Things weren't matching up, things weren't flowing the way they needed to. It caused you to have to step into your power, or someone else to have to do that, endings to occur, and you're in this space of like a more quiet perspective, and having to really look at the full thing, if that makes sense. And I'll usually always be guided to read these things as, you know, it takes, if I'm reading for, if I'm a love reader reading for a relationship, it takes two people to be in a relationship. And we can articulate dynamics well enough that we can see what we did and did not do, and what the other person did and did not do, and what we contributed to and what the other person contributed to. And under all that is two people who made a relationship or contributed to a connection. I don't know if that makes sense, but it takes two is what's coming to mind. I think that's just what I'm trying to say here, is that it takes both people to some extent. Okay. And I try to not, like, especially with these love readings that are kind of like heavier or polarized, and I feel like I'm reading for two specific people, or potentially like someone beyond, like whoever's watching, and then like maybe a specific relationship that resonates. I don't want to point fingers or play the blame game, if you will. Like for me, it's really just about taking accountability and having the ability to like reflect on the whole of it. And yeah, I don't think that, I think that I will always prioritize accountability and reflection over trying to name, blame, and point fingers, if that makes sense. I try to stay away from that entirely, because I can only read for one person at a time, if that makes sense. And it also just doesn't feel right to read for more than one person at a time. For instance, like if I'm reading for any specific one person who is consenting to a reading, I can only read for them. I can't really tell them a whole lot specifically about someone outside of themselves, if that makes sense. Okay, I went way into that. That was a huge tangent, but we've got the Wheel of Fortune here at the center and the Six of Wands clarifying this Hermit. And really the message that's coming through is, I think this Two of Cups does have a lot to do with your own inner union. I feel like I'm really reading for an ending here within a relationship. Again, it doesn't have to specifically resonate with that. This is a timeless message, so if whatever time it's watched and found by someone and that doesn't resonate, like the ending of a relationship, and rather it's just like difficult cycles within the relationship and within yourselves coming to a close, let it resonate like that. But I feel a lot with this Two of Cups and this homecoming. I have said it before on this channel, the Six of Wands is like coming back to your own place of home. And with the Two of Wands and the Hermit, or the Two of Cups and the Hermit, I'm really feeling this energy of like coming back to yourself. And with the Wheel of Fortune, that's where you kind of need to be. You need to be on your own, or just in more grounded in your own places and spaces that feel like home to you, if that makes sense. Because originally I saw this at the center of the reading, and I am being called to take this and read into this as a love reading, but this has a lot to do with inner union, this Two of Cups. And self-reflection. So please take it in that way too, if that's what feels like what makes more sense for you, is that this actually is just speaking to your own relationship with love and partnership in general, in your own relationship with yourself. We have the Two of Coins clarifying the Ace of Coins. Yeah, and I'm getting too, it's like you had to reflect your own love back to you. And that could be what is causing a lot of pain, is that there was real, like this was a very real kind of love for you. And it reflected your own heart back to yourself. And so through the endings and having to walk away and move on, close out cycles, however, it's brought you into this space of this Ace of Pentacles. It's like it's brought you into a clearer knowing of yourself. And I'm getting that because we're getting the Two of Coins clarifying the Ace. It's like, how did we get this Ace? Well, we've clarified it from these two. And I get from this card, especially with this message coming out with the Hermit and the Two of Cups, coming back home to yourself and having a greater sense of union within yourself. If this resonates for a past love connection or just a relationship in general, it brought you into a space of getting to know yourself better and having your own love reflected back to you is just what's coming through with that card. So let's ask for guidance. Let's ask for guidance. This is a really heavier reading. It just is. Like the cards that are coming out are, there's some really like deeply loving cards, like the Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups, this Homecoming card, the Strength card, the Queen of Fire, the Emperor. There's these really like strong, grounded, ever-loving energies coming through, but there's also these really heavier energies of endings and of heartbreak and having to lean into the unknown and have acceptance with what you don't know is what's coming through. What you don't need to know, actually. It's like maybe with this being at the center, the Two of Swords, and then these two tens on either side, it's like you've tried and tried to bring this to a one and to see clearly, and you did derive from this a greater sense of your own self and knowing within yourself and relationship with yourself. But it was a lot to have to go through. And I'm getting with these two cards at the center, these are some pretty hefty cards. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Devil card, which is the monster in the card here. What you didn't know about the deepest, darkest places of yourself, you had to learn in this partnership or whatever it is you've gone through with yourself. That's what's coming through right here at the center. We've got the Hierophant to the left and the Page of Pentacles to the right. And both of these cards are like extremely guiding, clear, optimistic energies. And at the center, we've got these really darker, heavier cards about the subconscious, the ego, and kind of the same thing as it's like this reoccurring message twice in the center. We've got the one, which is the Lover's card at the top of the deck, and the Knight of Swords at the bottom. So what I'm getting is this impatient energy is coming up again. The Knight of Swords, which is the learner of cicadas here, is like it is the most impatient energy in the whole tarot. And that's like a message that was coming through, is like whatever heartbreak occurred, I'm getting that it came about because of this like no longer being able to practice patience for whatever reason. And as needed as it may have been, as necessary as it may have been, there's a heartbreak here associated with not being able to wait around any longer and hope for things to change, is what's coming through. Like this forced ending occurred. And this is the teacher card, the Hierophant in the Child Tarot. With this card, it's like something that comes through after a great time of contention, conflict, or pain, and it's just something that comes through to remind you that you learn through these times, through these heavier times of cycles closing out and things coming to an end. There is a great gift here for you, and even a gift that you will continually unveil and learn from this point on. This is the teacher card, the Hierophant card. I'm just getting it's a really comforting card of reminding you that, and I said this like at least a couple times in the reading so far, these things don't happen in vain. If you're resonating with this like very heavy energy of cycles closing out, of things coming to an end, there's this comforting reminder here of you are a better person, the ways in which your own shadow has shown up, and this heavier, darker energy of not being able to see the full picture. And so you've maybe had to lean more into this egoic shadow space that you feel like is not truly reflective of your most empowered self, that it is something that is derived from a place of fear, and like wanting to protect yourself so badly that it's brought, like that's what I'm getting, is that has brought out maybe something within your connection or just yourself that you don't truly resonate with. And it's like you have a difficult time seeing yourself in the shadow space of that. It could be that this came out in another person, this came out in yourself. If this is a love reading that's resonating for specifically that, like some kind of partnership, I would say that maybe it was something that was present in both yourself and another person, or just other people in general, but that it's brought you into this space of greater protection and truth and knowing of yourself. There's like this tangible new beginning with yourself, which is what I get with, hold on, this is the learner, so this is the Knight, this is not the Child. I was thinking Page, which is why I said tangible new beginning, but it could be that that's what it is. It's like, I'm getting you've allowed yourself to grow emotionally. Like I brought up this concept of emotional immaturity because I saw the Knight of Cups, and we have the Knight of Coins right here on the left and all the way on the right. It's like this is what has remained, is your grounded ability to be in it for the long haul and to always carry on and move forward despite the things that occur. And to always, with this card, I get somebody who cares very much about themselves and their own way forward with like the little helmet and the protective pads. They really care to learn and to do better. So there's this really, despite these heavier energies in the center, there's this goodness that comes out of it, whether it be for yourself or yourself and others. Because that message is coming through really clearly, is that this is like true across the board with the Teacher and the Knight of Pentacles. These are earth energies. So it has to do with growing through the shadow spaces of who we are with the Hermit and the Strength card. It's like finding the light and your own ability to draw from your inner strength through these times where, you know, ego, shadow, whatever comes out, and coming back into this space, letting this still ring true from the beginning and all the way through and forward, is that you are here to keep going. You're here to continue forward. You are here to be in great care and in love and in recognition of your own self, and in even loving another person, or having to just like navigate through maybe the heavier things that love and partnership and relationships can bring about. That this is what's present here for yourself and for like anyone, is that this ability to care for yourself and to truly care. That's, I don't know, that's just what's coming through, because we've got the Ten of Cups here. It's like this very, very loving card of home, of comfort, of emotional fulfillment. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just bringing that up because I see the Knight here on the left and also on the right. And it's like you're moving forward and you're moving on with a better sense of yourself and a better sense of goodness, I guess, is what's coming through. Care, kindness, accountability is also something that's I'm feeling a lot in this reading. The spaces in which you've had to like look at your own behavior, your own actions, you know, you are able to recognize that it may have just come from this space of fear, and that doesn't justify, you know, acting out of fear when it's not in alignment with kindness and with recognition of ourselves or others, like truly. But that you're moving forward with a greater understanding of yourself and others and your journey. Yeah, and then I think with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups here, it's like you're allowing love and care to carry you forward. That's what I get with the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles being more of like a earthly, tangible, material kind of energy. And then these two hearts, it's like you're letting whatever happened make you more strong in who you are. The Emperor, with the Moon and the Fear card coming, it's like you're allowing yourself to build courage and true recognition for love and kindness and care within yourself and others through this time. So there's a lot of good cards coming out. There's like a huge mix of some really like major arcana and like tens coming through, and then just I say that too because of all these black cards that came through from the Prism Oracle. So let's just go ahead and close out this reading with a message from the Prism Oracle, because I feel like that's why I was so called to really take this on as kind of like a heavier reading of endings and cycles coming to a close, things coming to an end. But there's this really beautiful, tangible new beginning with yourself. And it's like your love remains present, your love remains true. However that resonates for you, let it. We've got stop, love, and magic. Trust at the top of the deck, and determination at the bottom. And these are such beautiful energies that I'm going to go ahead and just take them out of the deck to read with. So we're moving from this like clear stop energy into this place of love, and this greater sense of being is what comes through with this like magic card here to the right. And then at the bottom, the basis of all this energy, which is how I read the tops of my decks, it's trust. Trust. And then this like reoccurring message of love coming through with these little hearts. And I'm getting this like Venn diagram shape between these two things. It's like finding the middle ground within it all. And then the determination card for me is just a card of grounded optimism. And it's a very realistic way of leaning into your own optimism, because the determination card for me often comes out when the energies are just like very heartbreaking and heavier. This like reminder of like, keep going, it's going to be okay. Okay, that's what's coming through. There's this one card, right, of needing to put things to a stop, needing to end things, but it's leading you into this space of success, prosperity. That's what I get with determination, and this higher sense of love and of being, and being able to practice trust. So yeah, let that be true for you. Let that resonate if it feels like it does. Thank you for listening. Take care and be well.